A problematic student will be coming to our school, the principal announced, his voice echoing through the teacher's lounge. His father works at a fire station and his mother is a normal housewife. His results are all right as well. He doesn't seem very problematic. Come on, look at why he was expelled, a teacher countered, leaning forward. He left his house for 2 years when he was in the first grade of middle school. Yes, what do you think? The principal asked, his gaze turning towards a woman with sharp eyes and an even sharper reputation. Would you be able to handle this student? Don't you know why my nickname is Viper? She said, a smirk playing on her lips. Please leave all sorts of problematic students to me. I'll teach them and make sure they become unproblematic. Park Jae-sol, better known as Viper, watched as the new student, Sung Jin-Woo, entered the classroom. Quiet, she hissed, her eyes narrowing. Who's the one talking? There he is. That brat is Sung Jin-Woo, a student whispered. No matter how chaotic of a student you were, Viper thought, I'll tame you into a me clan. Gloves. Viper observed, her gaze locking onto Jin-Woo's hands. That's against the uniform dress code. I'll wake up the sealed black flame dragon, Jin-Woo mumbled to himself. Hey kid, Viper called out, striding towards him. How do you wear gloves at school? The bell rang and the class began. However, Viper's attention was still captured by the peculiar new student. Everyone be quiet, she called, her eyes narrowed. Stand properly. Did I see things? My leech, that person just now, she muttered. Yes, it seems he saw you guys, Jin-Woo replied, his gaze flickering to her briefly. Is this also one of the effects that I've brought to this world? Later, Viper approached him outside. Are you perhaps Jin-Woo? She asked. Some Jin-Woo, right? It's me. Oh, young girl. We were in the same class during the first grade of middle school. You live nearby? I only moved here last year, Jin-Woo replied, his voice a soft murmur. Hey, come here for a minute. A group of students approached Jin-Woo, their eyes fixed on his gloved hand. Well, you're a big shot, aren't you? Wearing that glove and all. Why are you only wearing it on one hand, though? Is there a black flame dragon in it, or something? My hand, Jin-Woo muttered. The black flame cow in my right hand is roaring, dash. What are they doing? Viper asked, observing the scene unfold. Getting the hierarchy in order, a student replied. Hey, look, take off your glove. Let me try it on, you bastard, one of the students demanded. Are you stuffed or something? Why aren't you replying when we asked you to take off your glove? What is it? Do you have a tattoo on your left hand or something? My king, if you allow it, I'll rip these fools apart and offer them to you, a voice whispered near Jin-Woo. I don't allow it, Jin-Woo replied. But don't do it. Viper's gaze was drawn to the faint markings on the back of Jin-Woo's unloved hand. The wound I got from the king of dragons and Terry's. This was the only thing I couldn't heal properly, Jin-Woo explained, a strange tone in his voice. Never seen a burn wound before. We were just joking around. Why get all serious? Just wear that glove again. I'm scared I'll get nightmares about it, one of the students said, his voice tinged with a mix of fear and resentment. Fucking disgusting. Another mumbled. Hey, don't follow them. Viper snapped. What were you going to do? Kick dash, this is good, isn't it? It's peaceful. My king, I just did that for laughs. Jin-Woo's voice shifted to a more serious tone. You've become so different from how you were 3 years ago. You weren't even scared in front of those guys. Alf, did you exercise a lot in the last 3 years? Viper asked. Turf, I did train a lot. Are you going to join the athletic club, then? Viper asked. Club activity. There's actually a club I want to join, Jin-Woo said. Later, Jin-Woo stood before the track and field captain, Choi Taiwan. You want to join the track and field club? Choi asked. Yes, both of you. Jin-Woo corrected. No, just me. Oh, what's this? Someone wants to join? Choi said. I've never seen someone saying that they want to join first. This kid's no joke. Are you a sports talent? No. Have you trained in running during middle school? This place only accepts sports talents. Why are you trying to join the track and field club when you've never run before? There's someone I want to meet in a competition, Jin-Woo replied. She's still in the junior high division right now, but I'm sure she's capable enough to run in the regionals. She was a very competent runner before she gave up on that dream and became a high-ranked hunter after all. I'd be able to meet her naturally in a competition where junior high division runners gather. Right, competition? All right, but I have a condition. Do you see that guy over there? He's a 2D grade substitute runner, who's the worst runner in our club. Don't you think you should at least be faster than him to be able to join us? That guy might look lean and all, but he's got muscular thighs and calves. He's also exuding confidence. All right, I'll give it a try, Jinwoo agreed. What an obvious lie. How could someone who doesn't even recognize the person who came third in last year's regionals be able to join the track and field club? Good. But since just running is no fun, if you win, you'll get to join the club. If you lose, you'll do laundry and cleaning for a month for free. How's that okay, Jinwoo? Are you feeling better now? A voice spoke up from the resting room. Ah, yes. I guess. Phew. Shall I take a smoke? Another voice responded. From outside on the track, another teacher's voice rang out in disbelief. What's that? Why is that brat running on the track with the track and field guys? Track and field teacher, why is Sung Jin-Woo running with the track and field guys? Oh, that, came the response. I guess his name is Sung Jin-Woo, huh? I heard there was a new student that wanted to join the track and field club. They couldn't chase him away because he proved to be competent after they tested him. They are doing that right now because they are testing his stamina. Yes, that's already his 20th lap. I got tired of seeing him run, so I came up first. Wasn't he delinquent? Maybe I got the wrong impression of him. Well, I should observe him without any bias. That'll probably resolve the misunderstanding I have of him. Suddenly, a student cried out. Again. That again. What's that? Another responded. Viper's eyes widened, a wave of disorientation washing over her. This is an illusion. I'm seeing things. There's no way that exists. Mr. Park, are you all right? Choi asked, appearing by Viper's side. Keith, I told you not to do that. That human really does see us, huh? Ah, gentle, the voice purred, a low, unsettling tremor in the otherwise quiet room. You've been investigating the case, the one where the criminals surrendered themselves, quite willingly. A beat of silence, heavy with unspoken implications, settled between them. Ever since that day, you saw something, didn't you? The response was a hesitant mumble, laced with confusion. What day? The voice sharpened, an edge of impatience creeping into its tone. Come now, you know what I'm talking about. The day that suspect, the one who surrendered, vanished, disappeared as if he'd never existed. You saw something, didn't you? A longer silence followed, the tension in the air coiling tighter with each passing second. Finally, the man spoke, his words tinged with disbelief. An ant monster. A new quality entered the low voice, a strange mix of shock and fascination. I don't know what I saw that day either, it admitted, but that looked like an ant to me. A large ant, perhaps? An unnatural one? No, the man corrected, his tone gaining a note of urgency. It was an ant, but that ant monster. Was it perhaps a monster that has an ant's head, but a human's body? The scene shifted, the dim room replaced by the open expanse of a school track. Figures were running laps, chanting a peculiar mantra. Our goal is to conquer the whole nation. One voice, a young boy's, strained with effort, echoed the strange ambition. Our goal is to conquer the whole captain. A man, watching from the sidelines, commented with a hint of mockery. Wasn't our goal to win the regionals? That's too small of a goal. He focused on the boy, pushing himself, his breath ragged. Say it again. Our goal is to conquer the whole nation. The man chuckled. Humans are foolish beings, he murmured. Then, mileage. Nearby, a woman gasped. What's happening? My body feels hot. A companion grinned. Our newcomer is burning with that much passion. How could we, as seniors, remain lukewarm? Back in the room, the man from before seemed lost, his thoughts drifting. That ant monster. Was it perhaps a monster that has an ant's head, but a human's body? What was I talking about? My apologies. I'm very drunk. Please continue your conversation. The other voice seized the chance. Please wait a minute. What you mentioned about the ant. Could you provide more details? Another shift, a plaza, bustling with people. A figure observed them all, dark eyes sharp and calculating. There's quite a few people who are just openly watching me nowadays, he stated. Beside him, another said anxiously, My liege, wouldn't it be better for us to erase that human's memories and take away his abilities? Not yet, the first replied, but let's observe for now. The scene shifted again. A detective's cluttered office, the detective speaking to himself. The monsters that the suspect saw and the monsters of a student that only that teacher could see. There's some strange connection. The problem is, how should I ask that student? Do you know about shadow monsters or ants that walk upright? I'd be considered a lunatic. A shadowy voice whispered. Did he see the guard as expected of Wojenshul? Even though he no longer has memories, he seems to still have that keen instinct of his, detective. Another voice cut through the unease. It's nothing serious. I just have some questions for Sung Jin-Woo. A school hallway buzzed with activity. A student mused. A detective came looking for Sung Jin-Woo? I guess he created some trouble. An older man in a classroom said with a thoughtful smile, It's all right. Several years ago I got lost in the crack of the dimension. I haven't seen him for tens of years. I'm glad to meet him, but if I show him that, he'll probably think I'm strange. He looked at a student with a strange look in his eyes. And by any chance, does anything come to mind when you see this drawing? The student responded with a strange calm. Yes, what is this scent monster then? And who are you? Sorry. I got a little too excited there. It's because I've been chasing for information on this for quite a while. Isn't this a monster that appears in those dramas, with special effects? The kind that kids watch? The man was let down. He said, Thank you for your time. Could you perhaps give that monster drawing to me? A low whisper said, My king, please don't cast your eyes upon that lousy, half-acid scribble. The student then handed the drawing over. A defeated voice then said, Mileage, why did you not tell him the truth? The answer was cold. Oblivion is said to be a blessing that has been given to mankind, even if that was a result made by man, using a god's tool. What was that just now? The student mumbled, Why was the detective here? He's someone I know, and he had some personal questions for me, the student replied. Whoa, that's awesome. Are you close with him? The guys are saying that your body is really good. What kind of sports do you do? Oh, I saw him running with the track and field seniors yesterday. Well, look at how broad his shoulders are. Some older boys approached. Hey, you're quite the big shot, huh? Even the police came looking for you. Relax your expression while I'm talking nicely, the student said. He then asked, What business do you have with our track and field day seniors? One boy answered with a sinister undertone, We are here to stop our ace from beating 4 idiots to death. Another then said, We're having a welcoming party for newcomers. You and Younger are free today, right? We'll see you both after class then. Where are we bringing them? Shall we go for some light running around the track? Yeah, dash. What's with them? Said a student. Do you want us to resolve things with them properly? It's all right, he answered. I'll make sure that it doesn't affect the competition. He turned his attention to the approaching man. Sung Jin-Woo, can I have some of your time to finish what we talked about earlier today? The older boys added, Don't come too late. We'll be holding a young girl hostage until you come for the welcoming party, huh? I won't be able to stay for long, said the student, because my friend's life is on the line here. What do you want to talk about? A voice, low and chilling, then whispered, Hunter Sung Jin-Woo, it really is you. The scene faded to black, leaving a lingering sense of dread. The encounter began with a statement, not a question. Hunter Sung Jin-Woo, it really is you, a voice declared, laced with a curious blend of surprise and calculation. The air around them seemed to vibrate with a subtle, unspoken tension. Jin-Woo responded with measured calm. This is quite a memorable talk, his tone betraying nothing of the complex thoughts churning beneath the surface. Could you perhaps give that monster drawing to me? The voice requested, its tone smooth, almost silken, yet with an underlying demand. Before Jin-Woo could react, another voice, sharp with concern, cut in. My king, please don't cast your eyes upon that lousy, half-acid scribble sure. Despite the protest, a crumpled piece of paper changed hands. Here you go. Thank you. It was something trivial, the first voice acknowledged. Yet the words held a deeper meaning. But some of the huge happenings that make a big mark on history start from things that are trivial. A pregnant pause hung in the air before a pointed question was posed. Say, association leader, do you trust me? Silence stretched, thick with unspoken implications, before the hesitant reply. Yes, I do. In case that you, the first voice continued, a subtle change in tone, I hope that you'll also believe what I'm about to show. A strange energy seemed to stir in the space. UWH. What's this, Kuna Sung Jinwoo? A pause, then a murmured reply, MP Kuan. In that case, we know. How may I help you, Mr. Sun? The voice asked, the formal address a sudden, unsettling shift. A ripple of recognition ran through the room. Hunter Sun. Sung Jinwoo? Isn't that the name of that student from just now? The name echoed, charged with a new significance. Hunter Sun. Hunter Sun. A voice mused. Those were memories that connected the past, present, and future. I saw myself in the forgotten world through Sung Jinwoo. A sense of profound unease settled over the gathering. Among these, that means that we'll be monitoring hunters and making sure that they don't say anything that isn't accurate. The association will be managing Hunter Sun's identity. It will be a closely guarded secret that isn't supposed to be leaked to external parties. The narrative took a turn toward the extraordinary. Along with gates, monsters, hunters, rulers, and monarchs. A voice recounted, a litany of the unknown. And how could this be? How is such a thing happening? No way, Hunter Sun. Are you intending to face those guys by yourself? Jinwoo's reply was quiet yet determined. Yes, because the memories of higher beings don't like the flow of time. Don't come too late. We'll be holding Yandra hostage until you come for the welcoming party. How long? Came the anxious query. Just how long have you been contending against them? In the dimensional crack, based on history, he disappeared for 2 years, but that's not something that can be resolved in just 2 years, 27 years. A heavy silence descended. Do you not regret it? No matter how many times I have to make that decision, I will always make the same one, Jinwoo declared, his voice firm. It seems you're enjoying your life quite a bit, a voice observed, a hint of something unreadable in the tone. Right now I'm satisfied with it, except for the fact that I no longer age and need to keep changing my identity. A chilling revelation hung in the air. Immortal and unaging, he's already obtained a power similar to that of a god. However, despite having such a power, he chose to live as a normal human. What do you intend to do from now on? I don't have anything planned yet. In that case, how about coming back to this side? Are you talking about the police? Yes. The vicious criminals that have been coming to the police are talking about succumbing. They say they can't live normal lives because of the shadow monsters. If I become the police, there won't be any work left for the other police to do, though. That is the kind of world that I'm working so busily for. I'll think about it. I'll be waiting, the voice replied. Don't wait for me, Jinwoo said, a finality in his tone. I know that it's a job that involves tons of work, but very little salary. Time moved, and a strange call reached the emergency line. Oh, I'm a traveler that's wandering in the desert. Yes, this is the emergency report center. No, that's not it. Are you in distress? What's the problem then? And no, I'm not calling because I'm in trouble. I just wanted to call in to report something I saw. Is it a dangerous situation? Should we send someone to you? I am not sure if I should say it's dangerous. Sir, I need you to explain to me what happened. Honestly, I'm not sure how I should explain this. For us to be able to help you with the correct measures, something is breaking. It's got a lot of cracks. Where is the crack you're talking about? Are there buildings in the desert that are big enough to collapse? Basically the sky. The sky is cracking. My liege, that's not how you should approach doing. A new voice broke in, an edge of warning in its tone. Question number 24, my liege. This feeling. Kath Pinai. Long time no see, Shadow Monarch. Is it the doing of you and the rulers? It's not us. You already know this, but the way they move is different from us. In that case, the people that are closing in, do you have an inkling about who they are? There were some other welders that stepped foot in our world not too long ago. It seems they changed their direction hereafter. They got chased away by the army of the sky. Why are they trying to come to Earth? They are a giant race that needs to eat rocks of stars that living organisms can live on. In their world, they are wicked beings known as the Titans. It's obvious why they are coming to Earth. They are not friends then. That's right. This never happened before. The cup of reincarnation was used though. Yes, that's correct. Actually, the time that I mentioned to you not too long ago is also referring to the last time. You are saying that enemies that should have been targeting your world have now changed their target to Earth? Yes, I'm the cause of it. Then the rulers are thinking that they are chasing after traces of the great power that you possess. And the army of Sky has already departed from the rulers. No. It's too late. Even if they were to come here using the gates that connect their world and ours, it would take at least a few years. By then, everything would be over. Seal it. West America, desert region. On keep out, Cal. The message crackled through the air. On keep out, Calca. As a coded message played, a voice echoed through the chaos. Come, from this point on, the one you lot have to deal with would be a monarch who is also a hunter. What? The word was barely a whisper, laced with disbelief. What on earth is happening? The scene before them was chaotic, baffling, and profoundly unsettling. A new voice, sharp and confrontational, cut through the confusion. What's this? Just one of you is trying to impede us? A cool, measured reply. I may appear to be alone. Then, a decisive command. Let's go. The world shifted. A crack appeared in the sky. An odd voice recounted. Suddenly, and then things began to emerge from it. An unprecedented event. Another voice whispered, the unease thick in the air. Is it permissible for us to manage this without speaking a word to the populace? No, a sharper tone countered. Before that, is it even conceivable to handle what came from the tear? A question, tinged with concern, pierced through the discussion. Harrison, what you've mentioned, is it truthful? Yes, they have conveyed that the situation is concluding. The voice paused. The complete particulars will be provided in the meeting room. Kindly observe this video. A screen flickered to life, displaying chaotic footage. This was captured by drones and robots on location. Who is that individual in the recording? And exclamations of shock. Oh, what on earth is that? A teenager, in Asian, one of the voices noted. That man. A question filled with urgency echoed through the room. Who is he, Harrison? The response came, measured and slightly hesitant. A civilian, positioned at the very epicenter of the entire event. That, another said, is something I would like to know as well. A shift in setting. An unknown location, a different kind of conversation. Oh, to imagine there being such a talent on a minuscule planet. A voice mused, its tone a mix of awe and curiosity, in some obscure corner of the universe. However, the voice continued. The reliance you have on external focus to amplify your power exhibits the immaturity of your species. We, the Titans, diminish our stature when we wish to unleash our full capabilities. A slight pause. Of course, only the elite Titan warriors are capable of this feat, including myself. Should you beg for absolution now, I shall grant it personally. The scene abruptly changed again. My liege, a voice interrupted. Were you engaging in conversation with that individual? No, that aside, came a dismissive tone. They seem awfully arrogant. I desire you to pay acute attention to them. I shall see to it, came the immediate response. My liege Q. A renewed urgency pervaded the air. That man, have we ascertained his identity? He handled those entities as though they were trivial. Events that are typically relegated to cinema are unfolding before us in the tangible world. A frustrated tone was next. Is there no one in the Intelligence Bureau capable of discerning who he is? Practically speaking, a voice responded. I believe it to be implausible. David Brennan, another voice announced, director of the American Central Intelligence Agency. What if we investigate his identity through unconventional measures? What do you imply? The room fell silent for a moment. There is that person who disclosed facts previously unknown through unrealistic means. A realization. Could it be, yes? Madame Norma Selna, a voice confirmed. She will provide us with the answer as she consistently has. The scene switched to a completely different setting. National track and field competition preliminaries. Hey Kim Chill, a voice calls out. Why aren't you engaging in warm-ups? I shall do so at this time. A second voice responded, an edge of nonchalance in their words. The puzzle pieces were scattered. The tension was rising, and the clock was ticking towards an unknown precipice. Boy Choi Taiwan, the voice mocked, a sneer audible in the tone. You guys are performing rather poorly, aren't you? I find it hard to believe you included a first-year student in all the matches. Another chimed in. I heard Sanjin had been resting for several months, recovering from injuries. But is he really in such a fragile state that a first year could become the ace of your team? A defiant response followed. Your jaws will probably drop when you see just how capable our first year is. A skeptical laugh cut through the air. Well, instead of improving your running abilities, you seem to have become better at telling jokes, huh? Actually, a new voice interjected, a hint of excitement in its tone. We also had a prodigious newcomer join us too. Say hello to them, Impulse, the voice directed. A bewildered exclamation. Why, an overwhelming impulse. A compulsion to kneel before a fellow student, a person I've never encountered before, and of the same age as I am? A pause, then, could it be I'm apprehensive of him? Don't be ridiculous, came a dismissive reply. I'm completely fine. Chill, what's the matter? A voice questioned, concern laced within it. Are you feeling unwell? There's no way I'd be apprehensive of someone as seemingly feeble as him. That's impossible. Hey! An agitated tone called out. What are you staring at? If you have something to say to me, let's go elsewhere. A murmur rippled through the gathering. Is there going to be a confrontation even prior to the commencement of the matches? Jinwoo, please. No one should come away from this harmed, a voice pleaded. We're not going to witness any altercations at a competition, correct? Make certain you restrain yourself, another added. Just envision yourself as elegant and sparing someone's well-being. Hold back. Nothing will transpire. You do not need to worry. We have confidence in you, another asserted. And you must ensure that he can walk back here under his own power, understood? A challenge echoed across the field. Hey, do you perceive me as some sort of jest? Just because we are both garbed in school track attire and standing on the track, it's nice to encounter him once more. A pause then. Welcome back, Tron. My liege, an impassioned voice declared. If you entrust him to me, I'll make certain to educate him, to ensure he never conducts himself in this manner again. A confused voice. What's happening? Why am I experiencing a trance? The narrative shifted abruptly again. Why, considering he exists as a human Kim Chill now, and not one of my shadow soldiers, there is no need for us to be excessively involved with one another. Wait a minute, came a bewildered cry. Is this what people call love? I was pondering what nonsense you were about to utter, a sarcastic tone replied. So, you attempted to pick a fight with me, a voice commented, its tone tinged with amusement. And then discovered I'm related to your father's friend's friend, and then chose to dispel all the negative emotions you felt towards me, choosing to live your life with more kindness from this point forward. A pause then, considering you were among those who fought to safeguard this world, you ought to take pride in it. The announcement of the start of the middle school division's preliminaries echoed through the air. Runners, please assemble on the track. The scene shifted to another location. Long time no see, madam. Welcome, Dave, came the warm reply. The smell of food. Were you perhaps in the middle of a meal? Actually, the voice confessed, a guest arrived here prior to you. Ah, is that so? I'll get straight to the point and depart, after conveying what I must, Dave said. I told you, didn't I? The madam said. After that individual sought me out, I was no longer able to foresee things. Are you referring to the god of departure again? Dave, I'll address the inquiries you are about to present, the madam declared. Yes, to the initial inquiry, and no, to the subsequent one. Wait, Dave stammered. How do you know what I'm about to ask? You are questioning how I am aware of your inquiries, despite no longer being able to perceive the future, Dave, the madam continued. The solutions you seek, they were pondered in the past. I merely referred to the past I had witnessed and provided the answers. Can I continue to obtain the answers then? Yes, Dave, the madam responded. I know the identity of the person you are searching for. However, I shall reveal nothing regarding that person, the madam stated, a hint of finality in her voice. Madam, you must know what he has done. How could you utter something so irresponsible? Dave asked. That is precisely why I'm not saying anything, the madam explained. Didn't you witness that video? A solitary human stood before monstrous entities, yet he never faltered. While that power was formidable, it saved humankind. Would you believe me if I told you that this was not the first time that such an occurrence happened? Are you referring to how mankind confronted multiple crises of destruction while we were oblivious? A pause then, perhaps, that man is as she stated. The man featured in the video, can you assure me that he is not a threat? I can assure you of that, certainly, the madam replied, her voice confident. Then, I'll disregard that I heard you mention that you know him. Wait, Dave, the madam stopped him. I have baked some cookies, would you care for some? Ah, that's all right. I will visit once more, Dave responded. Goodbye, Dave, the madam called out. I have an aversion for that old man, a voice declared. Old lady, would you like for me to teach him a lesson for you? Thomas, are you not one transgression away from being disqualified as a fighter? A voice murmured. There are many individuals who have passed in accidents, beyond myself, particularly with traffic incidents, The numbers must be incredibly high. Yet, I was capable of surviving, without being in any accidents, thanks to your foresight. Why did you rescue me, previously? Because you were engaged in many virtuous acts in your previous life, came the reply. I did. UFC's devil. I mean, you're talking about me, Thomas Andre, the one people call a demon, Thomas said, confused. What did the individual in the video do to warrant a visit from you? He salvaged the world, the madam responded, her tone enigmatic. There are times where I'm unable to discern if she is jesting or disclosing the truth. Well, that is why she is boasting, a voice noted. In that case, what is the hero who salvaged the world doing at present? A voice wondered. I wonder, another mused. Maybe he's relishing his youth out there somewhere.